Sup, shit, his name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we're checking out a track by an artist named Simeone, titled Star Lane. Without further ado, we're going to switch into it, got ourselves a Bandcamp profile, and hear what we think. How do I get that thing to disappear off the side? It's fine. Good, we've got ourselves a very interesting little intro here. Oh, it's very atmospheric, isn't it? Wow, look at all the stuff he did! Look at all of this! Just a heads up, this guy is obviously a heck of a multi-instrumentalist. I think I've listened to his stuff before. What's happening? All those pads and the drums. Wow. Lady vocalist? Beautiful vocalist. I love the effects on that, eh? There's so much space in this composition, those guitar lines, the arpeggios. Oh, we got some high synths. She came along. Are there some vocal harmonies going on in there? Wow, it's pretty out there kind of stellar stuff, eh? Very original. Yeah, that's a gorgeous texture to it, what I say. Gorgeous texture. Oh, it's fluctuating, and it's growing, and there's such a large dynamic range to this. It's so well done. It's very professional in terms of its production. So often you get like that instant boom, you know, it starts loud straight away, but there's been a slow burn for this, and I think it's worked off. We've just teleported to the halfway point. What's happening? Oh, there's a fade out. Oh, this is a new section. Oh, more than one section in a song? I am being spoilt today. So many different tracks. This would have been a heck of a time to mix and master. Good on them for managing to handle it. Oh, it's building. You got some sort of phase or something on there? Oh, some 80s synths going on here. Ooh. Phenomenal. Hang on. Star Lane. I'm looking through the vocals at the moment. With her wings folded around me, blocking the sun to become one. That's phenomenal imagery in those lyrics. Far across the shadows as she smiles by the mirror, pulling flowers from the vase and of the other. Oh. And the tune of the moon continues on even as it fades somewhere. Like, there's a lot that's said with so few words. What's gonna happen here? Is this an interlude or is this Oh, strings. What? Strings now? Ooh. It's a hell of a build, isn't it? It's almost a crescendo, isn't it? Again, a slow burn, but it's well earned. Oh. That is very atmospheric. That sounds, what is that? What is that tonality there? There's a beauty and an omnipresence to this. It's a... Was that it? What a hell of a trip that was. That was a journey, wasn't it? That was a lovely little adventure we just had there with Starlane by Les Simeone. A phenomenal effort. It takes a lot of talent to be able to sing and play the guitar, let alone play the drums, the bass, lead and rhythm guitars, orchestral arrangement, and to use all those synthesizers. And I'm assuming that there may have been involvement in the recording, mixing, and mastering process as well. This is what I mean by like a true independent artist. This is someone that kind of does all of the stuff themselves. It's just so impressive. You know, what do I want to say about this? I mean, obviously it's very unique. I haven't heard any music like this in quite a long time. It's cool to hear some sort of old school, a lot of the old school sort of effects in like the 80s and even the 90s come into play in 2020 for a new release. With modern production techniques, it sounded very well balanced. There was especially with something that is this long that contains so many different elements, there's a possibility that you're going to have something that doesn't sound quite right. But I couldn't find anything there that sounded particularly out of place. It seemed like it fit a cohesive sort of theme. It just seems like it was very mystical. This was a very mystical song. It was almost like the guitar, the vocals were half of an instrument to add an added color to it, as well as a message. It was like it was meant to describe a greater design. That's what I think this song is. It's sort of it's made. I think a track like this is made for you to just sit down and listen to it and just appreciate and sort of have a cup of coffee and just think about what you make of it. So it's very difficult for me to talk about something like this right after I've listened to this, because you need to kind of have time to consolidate what's happened. But I can talk about it on a technical basis and say that for me, no note was out of place. It was fantastic, again, to have that dynamic range in this recording, as it's all too easy nowadays to just kind of effectively screw yourself by limiting and compressing things too much so that everything sounds loud. It's okay to have a headroom in a final render. You don't have to have it like pumping. It doesn't suit all genres of music, you know what I mean? Even EDM doesn't have an excuse nowadays. There's so many resources to teach producers how to mix and master properly that, like, if you're kind of over limiting stuff or over compressing stuff, you're kind of just screwing yourself, aren't you? But Les Simeone doesn't have to worry about that. This was a phenomenal effort, again, as I said before. Without trying to repeat myself, I also like the fact that it was like more of a progression, or like a through composed song where like you had the vocals at the start and then you kind of just left time to wonder and sort of fathom the possibilities with that instrumental section at the end. Incredibly impressive performance all around. I can't really fault it. I think that's a good thing. Sometimes people ask for constructive criticism, you know, like they expect reviewers to have something to say about it. That's not great. I don't really think I want to say anything bad about this one. This is the first time I've listened to a track with this many synth elements that's worked together. It's, you know, I've heard like purely orchestral performances where it's been like this, but nothing with the sort of like synth work that's involved here. It's a hell of a trip, and if this is what Les Simeone's music is like generally, I think there's a niche that Lee will continue to carve out and make the most of. And I wish Les Simeone the best of luck in future with all the future musical endeavors. But thank you very much for watching this review of Lee Simeone's Starlane. Hopefully you enjoyed it. As you can see, Lee Simeone has a band camp, so if you can check that out, that'd be great. Thanks. She definitely support. Now I know I've probably said he and she, so I'm guessing there sounded like there was a female vocalist in there. I couldn't tell if it was a male or female vocalist in music, but I've just done a little bit of research, and at least Simeone is a man, so apologies if I offended anyone by saying that I thought that the composer's music was a she. The lyrics sounded like female vocals, but I think yeah. Stay cool, stay safe. Please remember to support your local musicians at this point in time. We need to help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on. I'll catch you in the next review. Spider hands out. Ow. Ow. That hurt.